Okay, so week 1, day 3 has come to completion. The sit tonight. So I'm going to talk a little bit about a couple of things. So first, I use this thing called Insight Timer, and it has a really nice feature that allows you to set a timer with different chimes and stuff. And then you can set like a 15-minute. You can set, if you want, like you can set little interval chimes. So you could set a 15-minute with like a chime at 5 minutes, a chime at 10 minutes if you wanted to. I don't do that, but I am finding this second time around, I'm way less anxious and feel the sense of like fidgetiness. However, there's something about, for me, that happened a ton the first time I did the presence process, which is like energy sensations through my physical body. So for example, in this sit, the second one tonight, my leg felt just my left leg. And sometimes, there's a difference. I'm not saying this clear. There's a difference between your leg falling asleep and then feeling vibrating energy residuating in your leg or body anywhere. Usually for me, it's in my legs, but I've had it in my chest. I've had it in my head. I've had it all over. So I've had it in my cheeks. But in this case, tonight it was my left leg, and it was just feeling like prickliness and like impulses that when the impulse hit in certain spots, especially like on my upper thigh, like the sensation made me want to like jolt my leg. Almost like if you've ever had restless leg syndrome, like when you're laying in bed at night and your legs just feel jittery, kind of like that, where they're kind of vibrating and you want to move to release that energy. So sitting with it, noticing it, not telling a story about it, not making any drama about it, right? Just allowing it to be, continuing the breath work, for me is something that has really helped me. And what I think for me in particular has helped is to, when things come up during not, my sitting time, in my day-to-day, it reminds me or helps me somehow to thoughtfully respond. So there's that. The other thing that I wanted to mention, which I think is pretty cool, is that my husband and I had therapy tonight with our therapist, and we were sharing how the night before, we had this really great conversation between he and I, and we kind of had like this breakthrough moment. And it was only an hour-long conversation, but that hour-long conversation seemed to be so different and kind of unlocked some areas that had been building up, where there was all of this, I would say again, like all of this contained energy, right? And in both of us in between the relationship. And then last night before my sit, we had a conversation, and it went really well. And I was able to very maturely and very softly set some boundaries and say some things that he received really well. And he in turn said some things and asked some things which I received really well. And as we were talking with it today with the therapist, it really illuminated how what seemed like this, we had this little simple conversation that lasted an hour, was about 4 months of kind of that same feeling in my leg, energy buildup and sensation and all this unknown under the surface stuff. But we were able to integrate it into our relationship in a really healthy way. So that's my insight for week 1, day 3.